it is really important for the world to put deterrence to China and urge them to stop thinking about having that military intervention.
Another slightly terrifying headline: the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned on Monday that humanity is just one misunderstanding, one miscalculation away from nuclear annihilation. He might have had the tension over Taiwan in mind. The US House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi looks set to visit the island today. That's irritated China, which says it wouldn't sit idly by if Pelosi were to visit. Taiwan is independent, but the Chinese government claims it as a province of China and has not ruled out taking it by force. Let's talk to Nathan Law, a Hong Kong activist now exiled in London. Morning, Nathan.
Hello, good morning.
How significant is this visit by Pelosi? These threats by China as a result seem extraordinary, but why does it matter? Why does Pelosi visiting Taiwan matter?
The visit of Speaker Pelosi is the very first in 25 years of her rank to come to Taiwan. It signifies an increasing international connection of Taiwan to the rest of the world, especially to the US, because China has been claiming sovereignty over the island and also has been doing a lot of things to stop them from interacting with the other countries. So that would be seen as one of the big breakthroughs in recent years on Taiwan's diplomatic connections, and also hosting the Speaker of the House of Representatives in the US is definitely a big thing for Taiwan in terms of getting more international recognition and support when it comes to facing China's military threats.
Well, what does that military threat really amount to? Because China says it won't sit idly by if she does visit. She is going to visit, we now believe. What do you make of that threat?
The mouthpieces of China have been repeatedly saying that there could possibly be military responses, and in the past few days, there have been missiles fired into the strait, a lot of military exercise. It seems like the tension is mounting, and there's a possibility that there could be some military conflicts over it. But that's at the end of the day something Taiwanese government has to think about, because whenever Taiwan wants more international recognition, which is very legitimate, there could be possible response from mainland China. And I think the visit of Speaker Pelosi is just one of the incidents that just precipitates or facilitates that tension.
And I guess the question that all boils down to in the end, Nathan, is that if China decide they want to take Taiwan by force, what will the rest of the world do? Because China, if it wants to, can clearly, with its military power, overwhelm Taiwan, unless the West, America, other countries in the Pacific, Britain, as part of this as well, says we would stand by Taiwan to the point that we would resist Chinese military intervention. But that's taking us down the road towards a hot war eventually, isn't it? Is that a plausible scenario in your view?
Um, it's definitely difficult to rule out that China that there could be a possible military warfare launched by China, because the country is ruled by a dictator, and it could be very sporadic, or it could be out of people's expectation when it comes to dictators making unreasonable decisions.
Yeah.
We still don't see any positive outcomes or consequence when China launched the war. But yeah, as we can see in the Ukraine war, it's difficult to see. For now, the US has been strong and committed in terms of defending Taiwan when it comes to a possible war. But it also depends on whether the other democratic countries in the region support that initiative. But of course, at the end of the day, the best ending of a war is to end it before it started. So
Well,
I think for now, it is really important for the world to put deterrence to China and urge them to stop thinking about having that military intervention.
and actually, is that really, to go back to the beginning, the purpose of Pelosi visiting? That ultimately she's saying we care enough as America to say to you, China, we do not want you to make a military intervention here, and it's just a reminder that there may be consequences, there may be a deterrent effect of doing that.
I believe so. Having more connection to the world, Taiwan can get more support, and it's legitimate because it's basically a self-ruled island, self-ruled government. And when we look back, the visit of Pelosi is not going to change any policy of the U.S. towards Taiwan, and Taiwan is not declaring independence right away. Neither will the U.S. Has any change of over Taiwan's sovereignty claims. So I don't think that is a provocation in itself. It's just increasing Taiwan's
Yeah.
international exposure.
It's interesting stuff. Great to speak to you, Nathan. Thank you for joining us. That's Nathan
Thank you
Law,
so
a
much.
Hong Kong activist now exiled in London. Just a reminder of that quote again from the UN Secretary General: humanity is just one misunderstanding, one miscalculation away from nuclear annihilation. I don't mean to be a buzzkill, but it is there. And when you get into any detailed conversation about Taiwan, as you've just heard, the precariousness of it is very, very clear. And would we really collectively do something if China decided to invade Taiwan? And I'm not sure the answer is yes to that. But